Well, good morning. Good, beautiful Wednesday morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and we will be glad in it. See, we have a choice every single morning, don't we? We have a choice of whether we rejoice in the Lord or whether we get dragged down by the world. See, that's really the only two choices out there. We either lift ourselves up in God's Word or we get dragged down by the world around us. And we all know that there is no hope in this dying world. There is no hope in this rotting world. It is all passing away, and God has been very clear on that. So we need to be hopeful today in Jesus. I want to talk just a second about Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59. We're going to read verse 19, but we're going to talk a little bit about 18 and 20 as well. But we're going to read verse 19. It says, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and His glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him." Now I want to talk a little bit about this because, see, verse 18 talks about that God will repay the enemies. God will repay those who have acted against Him. He will bring fury against the adversaries. He will be bringing recompense to the enemies. So we need to understand that God is going to have it in such a way as that no offense will be left unaddressed. See, God says that evil will slay the wicked, right? We talked a little bit about that earlier. Evil will slay the wicked. God will recompense those who have acted against Him. In these days and times, it seems as though that the enemy is coming in like a flood. There are people who talk to me all the time who say that it just seems to be so much that not only do they see problems maybe in politics or they see problems in society, but they also are having personal issues such as health or maybe financial issues. Maybe they've lost a job and they are struggling. And we need to understand, we need to realize that there will be trials, there will be tribulations in the believer's life, that there will be things that come to the righteous man. We talked about that Sunday, that there will be hard times that come to the righteous man. It doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. It may mean that you have stepped out of the will of God, and certainly your heart knows that, and you can address that. I'm not going to address that this morning. But sometimes hard times just come. They come as a challenge to us that we have to lean back on God. But then listen, it says when the enemy comes, it says when the enemy comes. It doesn't say if he comes. It says when the enemy comes in like a flood. And most of us have seen floods, the way that they wash across. They just in some cases just wash things away, sometimes houses, sometimes cars, sometimes just kind of rake the yard, but the flood can cause great damage. But then it says something here. It says the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. See, that means that we don't have to fight it alone. That the Spirit of the Lord, when He sees the enemy coming against us, what we can be confident in is that He is going to lift up His standard against the enemy. That God is going to lift up the right thing, the right banner against the enemy that is coming against us. Then in verse 20 it says, "The Redeemer will come to Zion and to those who turn from transgression in Jacob." So the Redeemer is Jesus Christ. So we know that the Redeemer is coming to Zion, that He is coming to save both Gentiles and Jews when they turn from their transgressions and they seek the face of Jesus. But what I wanted to tell you today, I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be encouraged today that the Bible is very clear. And I can go through the Bible and I can just show you time and time and time again where God says, I am going to fight for my people. I am going to take care of my people. It talks about up here in the very top part of verse 19, it says, the name of the Lord from the west. And then it says, and His glory from the rising of the sun, which we know is the east. So we know that they will fear the Lord that is over the west and the east, that He is over it all. So God is saying here, when the enemy comes in like a flood, don't fear. Do not fear. Now, I know that we've got many things coming in this nation. I know that there are many things that people, quite frankly, are fearful of right now. They are fearful of politics. They are fearful of this virus. They are fearful of what is going on in their personal life. They are fearful, perhaps they've lost jobs or they have health issues. And there are many fears out there. But what we have to do is realize that we were not made for a spirit of fear. We were made for a spirit of boldness, right? We are to be bold in our faith. That doesn't mean that we go out shouting in people's faces. No, that's not what that means. What it means is that we are to stand in confidence that God is going to take care of us. When the enemies flood in, as they surely will, God will raise up a banner and He will give us hope in the form of Jesus Christ. I want you to be encouraged today. I pray for you. I know you pray for me. I pray for this nation. I pray for this world. I pray for my Christian brothers and sisters throughout the world. Because as we talked about Sunday, we may be in the world, but we are not of the world. We are of a different kingdom. Once we give our faith to Jesus, we are of a different kingdom. And that kingdom is a spirit. That kingdom is a kingdom of light. And if that kingdom is a kingdom of light, then we know that this world is a world of darkness. And being part of that kingdom, it's no wonder that we kind of sometimes feel like we don't belong here. See, Jesus says that one day He will come and He will gather us to Him. That He will take us to His kingdom where He has prepared a place for us. Why? Because we are of that kingdom. We are not of this world. So I want you to be encouraged today. I want you to have hope today. No matter what comes tomorrow or the day after that, God has us. He is raising up a standard for us, and His army is fighting for our good.